BassResinator here. I have my axolotl mold. I already have the eyes set in place. I gave him the amphibian eyes because he is an amphibian. And I always like calling these gill flaps. I call them mud flaps just because they happen to be in muddy water. There's actually only two places these live in the wild anymore. Well, actually ever. And they're real close to Mexico City. And I see, just a minute, I got a bit of dribble, so that you're going to hear me pulling this packing tape. When I was putting that eye in place, I just got to be real careful not to dislodge them because don't want to have that. But anyway, they only occur in two lakes real close to Mexico City. This is a creature that is really cute, but also very strange. But there's a lot of Aztec and Maya and Nahuatl Indians from Mexico that have this in their folklore. And I'm pronouncing it the Indian way. You'll hear people that speak only English will say axolotl, which I'm sure. Oh, this is part of a collaboration with crafty artists from all over the world. I'm just telling you that right now. So look in the description below for a playlist, and you'll be able to see all the other people that are involved in this. But this is Let's Resin really outdid themselves when they made this mold. You'll think, oh, that nothing could look like that. Look up the pictures of an axolotl, however you want to say it. If you talk to, I have a friend who from Mexico, and she goes, "Oh, ajolote," which is the Mexican way or Spanish way to say it, but the Indian way is axolotl. Now, there's some people that can't do the TL together, which is a difficult thing. The Nahuatl language has a TL a lot of places. There's two mountains right around Mexico City. One is Popocatépetl, the other one is Ixtaccíhuatl, and they have that TL. The way you say, maybe this is too much information, or too information much, because my name is Tim, Tim, too information much. The Indian way or Aztec way or the Nahuatl language way to say opossum is tlacuache, TL, right at the beginning of the word. Most people that speak Spanish, just because of the difficulty of being able to do the TL together, some people can't do it. And so they just go skipping right through it, and they say tacuache, which is not the real way. So I'm going to try and stay as original as possible. One of the things that, well, I'm not going to go into all of the background on this guy, but the axolotl is a form that one of the godhead, the pantheon from Mexican Indians, the god was known as Xolotl, Xoltl, and he was a god of lightning and stuff like that. So I'm going to incorporate glow in the dark streaks like lightning in there. But for his mud flaps, I'm going to do traditional Aztec colors. This light orange actually looks kind of like a red, and these are UV resins. So I'm going to it's really difficult to get all of the little shapes of those things in there without getting an air bubble. So that's why I'm going to try and do it with UV resin and mess with it. And I got my UV light right here ready to go. But the eyes have already been set in place with amphibian eyes. So I'm going to start with the light orange. And I'm going to see if I can. And the problem with this is there's one way over here to the side. These two are not that difficult. This one over here on the side and over here. Yeah. Really kind of tricky. Get the nozzle in there. I can actually see it from where I am.
Under the water where secrets thrive, axolotl watches the dreams arrive, glowing with wisdom in mystic hue, brother to serpents and sky so blue. Quetzalcoatl calls from the breeze, whispers of stars and cosmic keys, swimming in circles, his resin soul. Axolotl gleams where the rivers roll. A shimmer, a flicker, a song untold. Dance in the depths where legends unfold. BassResinator shakes the ground. Echoes of the ancient sound.
What I'm going to do now is I'm mixing up some UV resin with glow-in-the-dark powders. And on this tray, I'm going to try and make zigzaggies for lightning. So I'm using the colors that you would see in fire. There's an orange, and there's a red, the closest I can get to red, which is coral. And then there'll be a little bit of blue after a while. So
The brother's kind eyes so softly bold, molding the cosmos in resin art. Life flows through their beating heart.
if you get one of these double-sided lamps, sometimes the little connectors, they're metal plates, and then there's little metal, for lack of a better word, pokey things. And they are supposed to line up and touch the plates. But sometimes they roll up out of the way so that if you put that flat, you're not going to leave marks on a surface. I mean, if you're only using half of it. So you don't damage your surface. But with this, by doing it the way they have set this up, sometimes those little rollers need to be twisted. So look at both sides and make sure they're on. If not, then just sort of twist that little thing over on the side, bump the rollers until both sides light up, and then away you go. I've seen different people, mine doesn't work, only one side works. Well, that's why the things need to line up. So if you have one of these and it's not working for you, That's probably what is happening. Methinks I mixed up a bit too much, but you know what? It's okay. This, I'm thinking I'm going to put right behind his eyes. I can do some of that on his schnoz. Yes. Have him breathe fire. Yes. I'm liking where I'm going with this. Yes. Now this one should be, yeah, just like it's supposed to be. Look at that. That's the sound of lightning. I think I want the rounded side done. I'm gonna do clear, a little bit of clear, and then I'll set that on top of that clear and just sort of let it, if it sinks, it sinks. If it stays on top of it, that's fine too. And then I'm going to come back in with other colors after that.
Axolotl grins with a playful spin. Their bond unbroken from land to sea. Two spirits afloat in eternity. A shimmer, a flicker, a song untold. Dance in the depths where legends unfold. BassResinator shakes the ground. Echoes of the ancient sound.
Definitely trying to get those Aztec colors going. If you've never seen the Guatemalan national bird, it's called a Quetzalcoatl. No, not Quetzalcoatl. Quetzalcoatl is the Aztec god. Quetzal is the bird. I wish I were a much better sculptor. I'm not a sculptor at all. I wish I were a sculptor and could sculpt a master to make a Quetzal. They are some of the, well, they are, I think, the most beautiful bird in existence. And the Aztecs and the Mayas loved their feathers, bright greens and reds and golds. And so all of the colors that you see in the Aztec and Maya storylines, the colors are most likely taken from the Quetzal. So if you want to see what those colors are, look up pictures of the bird. And if you are a sculptor, make some of those, make one of those so that we can get a mold going. Man, that would be such a beautiful thing to be able to mess around with the colors. Okay, now let's see what those eyes look like. Oh, yeah. Oh, that one schnoz doesn't have as much yellow as it needs to. This is so much fun. I don't know. I don't remember who it was that decided to come up with this theme, but well, I'm glad they did. First off, I love this mold, and I even told Let's Resin this is a really cool mold, and I really like the flexibility of it. And then a little bit later, they come out with their crystal snakes, which is the same type of silicone. Really good stuff. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, same amount of schnoz activity going on. Okay, now front ones are going to be red, right? Isn't that what I said? You got to help me here. You know, I'm getting old. I don't remember things as well. Okay, stop laughing, Lula. I know it's you. I hear you all the way across the pond. Okay, got the toes, and I even had a little bit of yellow left, so I put it in his tail, on the tip of his tail. Now, get a little bit of this blue laser paste. I want to put it up on his forehead. I don't know if you can see. It's holographic up in there. Can't see it that way. Now, I also want to do it back here, leading up to that fiery tail. And wouldn't you know, I bumped on the side right up here. Okay, now I mixed up 2 ounces of Bondcrafter art resin, and Bondcrafter sent me I did a review online for them, and they said, if you do a review, we'll send you some resin. They sent me a 32 ounces of art resin, which was nice of them. So this axolotl, ajolote, is coming to you. Getting that extra little bit of that laser powder where it went. Oh my gut, down in here. Oh, there's still some on the side over here. Is coming to you via Bondcrafter. Okay. Now, their resin is very good at releasing bubbles, but of course, when I was mixing it, I was whisking very fast, stirred up more, so there was a few bubbles there on the top. There's still a couple little tiny micro bubbles, but those will release. So, pour this down. I don't know how far it's going to go. Because this up here, it says 4.5 fluid ounces. So it should be about half full. And now that I've got this clear here, clear over here, I'm going to give him his lightning strike. I need to get some tweezers to manipulate it down where I need it. I'm going to turn it this way so I can have a little bit better view. Okay, now sink. I need it to sink. I don't necessarily want it going all the way to the bottom. Excuse me, all the way to the bottom, but I do want it going down. The reason is I want to put some other color behind. So if I break that surface tension, there's some broken. Get underneath it. Yeah, there it goes down. Sorry about that. Yeah, right behind that laser powder, got the zigzag on his back. Yeah. Okay, just to let you see what you're going to be seeing, clean up my mess over here in a bit. Let me turn off some lights. Got some of that over here on this outside of the mold. I don't know if you can see that eye glowing. Ooh, you know what I can do even better? I'll get this other nail lamp. I'll go 30 seconds with it and then watch what you're going to get. Oh, while it's doing that, let me turn off the overhead light. Now it's dark. You can see through the lamp. That's pretty cool. I got my trash over here on my left. Okay. That's what we're going to be seeing. That's going to be cool. The eyes are glowing. The nostrils are glowing. Let me get you down here so you can see those nostrils. Just a second. Let me pause. Okay, so we got the tail, tip of the tail, and the feet. There, see those nostrils glowing and the eyes? Yeah. That's not a good sign. Do you see that one toe over here on the left? Looks like it's got a hole. That might mean I'm going to have to fill it with a little bit of UV resin when it all comes out. I think I got all the rest of them. Now I'm just hoping that those, the mud flaps don't have the UV resin. But, so, yeah. I'll come back to you after that cures up some, and then I'm going to do some more. Yes. See ya. Well, that cured up enough. I was hoping to get it to where I could stab some colors down inside of it, but I poked it with a toothpick and it just leaves a dent. So I've got out Marabou rainbow color, and I'm going to put on top of that, not in resin, just let it sit and shimmer on top of the resin that's there. And then I have Brie Reese shimmering alcohol ink in rose and yellow. So I'm going to go yellow towards the back. And again, I'm going to put it just on top of the resin that is there and watch what's going to do. And then this rose, and I shook all of these up a bunch because they all have the characteristic of having sediments and stuff, or the shimmery stuff that's in them is I don't know what it is, but mix it with alcohol and it goes. Okay, now I mixed up 3 more ounces of resin. And here we go. Watch what happens. It pushes that out, and then it's going to come back as it cures. But those are the colors. The color of the head, remember, I had that blue laser powder, and so that's the rainbow alcohol ink from Marabou. And then the red and yellow glow in the dark pattern is what I'm copying with. Is it getting up into there? Whoosh. Trying to dome it a little bit so that it'll be easier to unmold. You know, this mold acts like it's unbalanced, and every once in a while I'll have that happen on this table, even though the table is balanced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this little piece of cardstock under the supports on this side, and then under that I'm going to stick another piece of cardstock to double the thickness. Now that's taking care of that. Isn't that crazy? Just a little bit more on that leg. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. One, oh, almost too much. Okay, I best stop. I'm going back right across your face. Sorry about that. I have another mold over here that I've got something else going, and it can use a little bit of clear in it, which would be fine. Now, as that cures, that colored alcohol ink should come back. It actually looks like it just stained that. Well, that's okay too. It looks like it just stained the resin that I put it on top of. But I'm seeing some of it starting. Oh, I got some of that marabou on me, on my glove. I'm starting to see some of it come back here and there. Got a couple bubbles, not many. Oh, they're popping off on their own. Except for that, that was where some alcohol ink came up. Man, I'm glad I saw that quickly. Shove that alcohol ink that way. That's okay. Wow, that was crazy, huh? Well, I'm looking at it. I got my head way down here. I don't know if you can see my head. I'm looking at it from the bottom, or from actually its top up. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. There's not a lot of color in it, but the color that's there is really cool. Awesome. Okay. I will see you when it's time to unmold this baby. I'll just point it out right now. This is I have mentioned it earlier. This is a collaboration, and the collaboration is in English, so it's Xolotl, axolotls. I didn't come up with the name, but I think it's kind of cute. I would have done something similar to that, coming up with play on words. But I did not, so that's okay. Someone else did, and I'm not sure exactly who did, so I don't want to say it and then say it and get incorrect. Okay. When I look in the description of this video, look in the description below, and you'll see a link, a playlist for the other video, other people that are doing this collaboration. So yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Axolotl, ajolote, axolotl, however you want to call them. They're cute little buggers. This one I'm trying to go with the mythical viewpoint of it being a god of lightning, god of well, actually, I'll tell you a little bit while I'm pouring some more of that. I looked in that cup, and there's a little bit of more resin pooled there, so I'm pouring it in that other mold. Depending on which historian from Mexico you read, Axolotl or Xolotl was the brother of Quetzalcoatl, the fiery feathered serpent god of the Aztecs. Now, the Mayas also had that same creature as one of their gods, but it was not called Quetzalcoatl. For the Aztecs, it was called Kukulkan, but same feathery serpent. Um, so, but one of the stories that I read, I did a little research on this, said that Axolotl changed shape. He was a shapeshifter, and he was a trickster, very similar to Loki of the Norse fame. And he was changing shape so that he wouldn't be killed off. But there was a war between the gods, and he didn't want to be killed off, so he shaped into this. And his brother Quetzalcoatl cursed him to stay this form. He couldn't change out of it. And the only place he could survive was in that lake, or those two lakes right around Mexico City. One of the lakes is a very famous lake, and these guys are very in their natural habitat. They are very rare and not doing well as far as staying off the extinction list. But for aquarium hobbyists, they're doing well. In fact, one of my former students said, "Oh, you got an axolotl? My kids have one." I'm like, "What?" So apparently they got an aquarium, and they got one of these, a real one, a live one. So I thought that was kind of cool. But there's lots of effort in Mexico City area to try and clean up these lakes. Now, the one lake that is very famous was the floating island or floating gardens lake of Xochimilco. Starts with an X. Xochimilco used to be a place for tourists to go on these boats and tour out there. And there's little islands floating with flowers all over the lake. Well, it's not that way now. Apparently, it really got polluted and it's not good. I haven't been down there in forever. But they that was one of the lakes that the axolotls live in, and so if they can get that cleaned up, maybe they'll make a resurgence and thrive once again, because now they are a protected species in Mexico, which is kind of cool. But you know the way situations happen. Some people will go against whatever rules are in place just to do crazy stuff and be mean or cruel, and you lose them. Hopefully, these guys can make a resurgence. None of them are this color. I can guarantee you that. But I'm trying to go in with the mythological aspect of what this god did and what he was and what powers he supposedly had, and try and keep the colors of the Aztecs intact. So I got the green, yellow, and the red in the gill flaps, or what I call the mud flaps, and then I got the red and yellow, and he glows in the dark. So that should, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to wait, but it's really gonna be hard to wait for this guy to cure up. I really want him done now, so I can see what he's gonna look like, glowing. Now this collaboration is in April, but right now it's March from when I'm making this, so I'm ahead of the schedule, but I'm having fun. So I'm already looking forward to the collaborators, because I know some of them. Oh, I don't know them personally, but I sort of do. We're friends online, but they live across the pond, and I'm here in Texas, way South Texas, and so yeah, and I'm just sitting here watching the alcohol inks pull in, and it's warming up, so that's kind of cool. Yes, this is gonna be fun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I will see you on the other side for the unmold, and then I will have some glamour shots in the light and in darkness so that we can get the full effect of this axolotl. Okay, thank you for being here up until now. Hope you're still watching. Um, this is fun. Okay, I'll see you. Cured up overnight, and I went around and loosened. Look at that. Went around and loosened his toes. Now I'm seeing a little bit of overdraft. Come on, let loose of there. There we go. Put you right there. And I got my blotting tool and went around the edges of the head. Look what we got with that. Apparently, back here in the back, when I put in that colored alcohol ink, it had not cured as much there as it had up further in the body. So we have this Petri type effect. It's really cool looking. Okay, so now let me continue to unmold this guy. And then we're going to get up to the mud flaps, and I hope those came out okay. Maybe if I go over his head first. Okay, it's loose. How loosey is your goosey? Okay, over his front of his face. Come on now. Come on now. Well, that's not working like I wanted it to. Maybe those mud flaps have to come out first. Okay, please be attached. So far, so good on this side. Come on, over that tall one right there. There. And the rest of his face. Hey, look at that. There was one air bubble right there. Look at that head. Oh, you can't see it quite as well as I can, but you will as soon as I can get him all the rest of the way out. Okay, let loose of his face. There was an air bubble on that one too. But the rest of this, oh, he's really cute. Oh yeah. Oh, an air bubble up here on that one toe. Thought I got him. An air bubble there. Okay. Well, I'm gonna fix that. And I'm gonna trim his toenails real quick. Okay. A little rough around the edges on the bottom, so I'll have to go around that with the deburring tool. But let me go to fixing. First, before I can fix it, I gotta mix it. Mix a little bit of UV resin. Got two different colors, so okay, coral. Don't need much there. That's all I need there. Doesn't have to be nearly as opaque as the other, because I just need just a little filler gap. Okay, I'm going to come over here to the side and cure this. Don't want to cure that whole thing I got there. Just this one little area. Okay, so that got that toe. This one going to require a little bit of surgery. Okay, I got a little bit there. Come over here to the side. Cure that bit. Looks like some animal just came and took a chunk out of his toe. I don't know if you can see that. That one right there. This one, I fixed that very easily. But this one, you have to do multiple layers. Even a better light right there. May even have to mix up some more. That was very skimpy. Okay, what I think I'm going to do, since I'm going to have to mix up a little bit more, I will do the back one. It doesn't have very much I got to do on it. It's just this. Get out of here. That looks like it just needs a little bit of trimming. There's one over here as well. Okay, I'll come back to you after I get this finished. Okay, I fixed his toes. They're smooth now. And I patched up the bottom there with the UV, colored UV from Let's Resin that I started with. That was made it easy. And I also sanded him down so that he's not cutting my hand when I'm picking him up. Now I got, there we go, little piece of, well, I said I sanded him down. I did. There's a little sharp thing on the side hanging up. Oh, I see where it is. There. Yeah, goes right on by it now. Okay, so that's what you saw. Taking him out, you can see the flaming nostrils and the glowing eyebrows. Now these do not glow, but his feet and that lightning strike along his back, oh man, that and the Petrie effect back by the tail, that's pretty slick. Wow, and I like how that shimmering alcohol ink went over onto the legs. Okay, I'm going to take this guy outside and get some amazing pictures. I know they're going to be amazing because this is an amazing little creature. Xolotl, welcome to this house. If you are a subscriber of mine, thank you so very much. If you're not, consider it. We have fun on this channel. We do all kinds of crazy things, making axolotls come back to life. Now, this is not the color you will see in nature, but this is definitely a color that goes along with the mythological creature of axolotl. If you do subscribe to my channel, it's really easy. You just go down and push the subscribe button down at the bottom of this screen. And right next to it, there's another little button of a little bell. What that bell means is if you click it, you will be notified anytime I put up something new. So if you subscribe, go ahead and click that bell as well. This is a collaboration all about the axolotl, and you're going to hear all kinds of pronunciations. That is fine. The playlist is in the description below. Click that and go to the other videos that are in this collaboration and look at what type of creatures they create. This should be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, I've got some stills coming up, and I'm not talking about Crosby, and I'm not talking about Nash, just stills. Okay, see you for the next one. Bye.
Moonlight bends where the